I sat through another episode of Willow. I guess I did it mostly for the Doomcock show, but we never even talked about it. So much other stuff going on. There's no hope for this show, and nobody's watching it. Just me. So I'll tell you what happened. But oddly enough, if there's anything of any interest here, well, first of all, this fourth episode, The Whispers of Nockmaar, is probably the best of the show. Yeah, imagine that. Because those first episodes are terrible. Especially the first one with the idiocy of what starts it all off on their quest, and the army just stands there. Good luck, girls. It one's the heir to the throne, Yeah, well, you're the only one they had left because the prince was captured, So pretty stupid if you ask me. But and you don't need to ask me. It's blatantly obvious because the drop off after that episode is massive, apparently, and so now there's only me watching the show. So it picks up where they left off. They showed up to the castle, the haunted castle, and that's basically what this episode is. They're stuck in a haunted castle. Willow warns them about the dangers. Well, they're going to end up... He says, stay away from the high tower. And they go right to the high tower, But it's understandable. They're kind of tricked into it. But it's Bavmorda's haunted castle now, and they do, interestingly enough, utilize footage from the movie. There's sort of these ghostly visions of them, and they actually do it kind of well. And even a ghost of General Kale, the skull-faced guy from the movie, shows up. Apparently, he killed damn, what's her name? The girl from Solo and Falcon and Winter Soldier. Her mommy, she has a vision of her dead on the floor, and I guess it was I guess they're insinuating she died in that battle, which is far too long ago for the age to be right, but well, whatever. And she has a fight with the ghost of the skull-faced guy. And stuff like that. So they all get tempted by visions and whatnot, and voices speak out to Princess Kit, and reminding her that she's descended from Bavmorda and all that stuff, and she might be tempted to become a dark sorceress or what have you. Meanwhile, Flash Thompson from the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies is sick because he got bitten by one of the demons, and now he's in danger of turning into one of them and going to be possessed and all that. So they try to perform this exorcism that Willow does, and but he gets the drop on Elora, and I'm not entirely certain how this happens unless the demon was able to overcome Willow. They don't quite explain that. He's just gone, and Flash tells Elora that, he took the demon into him, and it overtook him, and he's gone. He's, oh, no. But quick, we got to go to the tower. So they go to the tower, of course. Not supposed to go to the tower, but they go to the tower. And he leads her into a trap, of course, to perform the ritual that Bavmorda was going to perform on the baby in the movie. And Willow kept it secret that the legend is that his magic outdid Bavmorda and he defeated her, but all he really did was pull a magician's trick and make it appear to her that the baby had disappeared. And so this is revealed so that Willow is not all that, but, well, it still worked, And so ultimately Elora saves Flash Thompson. Now, a lot of this, I'm thinking they're leading it to where she and Flash Thompson will become an item. She was in love with the prince, but he's off being captured, and by the time they get there, she might, I've moved on, but he was a bit of a ladies' man. He just liked falling in love with girls all the time, and so Hey, he generally means it in the moment, but then as soon as he sees another nice rack or whatever, he's in love with that one. So that's kind of how they set it up for him. We finally see him again at the end of here before they get into their latest rock song. This one being Black Hole Sun, whatever. Yeah, the Soundgarden song. Unfortunately, it's not Soundgarden because they couldn't afford it, so they have some waifish type girl sing it. Yeah. So anyway, they show him, and he's in his cell, but then suddenly he discovers the door is open, and he walks out. And I don't know if he's getting a vision of ancient ruins, or if he's just literally in the middle of ancient ruins of where this mysterious crone lives, perhaps. And of course, it's all green screen stuff. But they shot it well. Most of the camera work has been fairly decent, especially in comparison, shockingly so, to something like Obi-Wan and whatnot, which was terrible. It doesn't really do much for them. But overall, just within the context of the episode of these guys in a haunted castle, it's not much to it, but it works better than the others did. It's too late because the premise and stuff and how they set it up was terrible. But still, even in that, can't believe this, but it's a better approach than what they did for Star Wars. I mean, it's still showing that Willow didn't really defeat Bad Martin the way they thought, so you couldn't do that with Star Wars. But it's just he is guiding Elora, and all of this, and teaching her things, and it's rough between the two and all that. It's despite all the stupidity and the terrible dialogue, the teenage dialogue that they have there. It's too bad because you almost could have had something in better hands. But it's just that, some of it makes sense in the plot points or what have you than what Last Jedi, which didn't. But much ado about nothing, really. It's a crappy show, but I guess episode 4 is one kernel of corn within the massive turd. That leaves 4 more. Don't know what becomes of those, but you don't really have much to root for here. And that's about it. So it's just kind of interesting. But, I guess it's just an accident, that you kind of had an okay episode in the midst of just blatant incompetence, stupidity, and laziness. Yeah. So anyway, there you go. Willow.